So this morning I'm meant to be joined by Kevin Williams, the laser expert, to discuss various different technologies. Ah, Kevin!
Hi Rachel. Sorry, I had a few other things to take care of.
Thanks for joining us this morning.
It's a pleasure to be here. What are we going to chat about today?
So, a few things. When clinics are looking for new devices, specifically hair removal, a lot of questions around, what should they be looking for? So the big things that tend to come up a lot is, should I have BBL, should I have IPL, or should I have laser? So can you explain a little bit more and say, for the best clinical outcome, the best results for their patients?
First of all, if we take a step back, the biggest mistake that people make is not understanding what they're looking for. And by that, I mean, I'll give you an example. I was with someone this week and they said, similar thing, should I buy IPL or should I get a laser? I said, well, what are you trying to achieve? Is it hair removal you're looking at, or you're looking at something else? And in this particular clinic, they were actually a facial aesthetic clinic that had just been told, well, if you get my device, you can do a bit of hair removal as well. So when you dig down, what they were looking for is a facial aesthetic device. So they should have looked for a facial aesthetic device that really suited what they, and to be able to do the procedures they want to do and do them well. Yeah. And I think too many people look at it and think, well, if I do a bit of everything, I'm bound to make more money, and that's not necessarily the case. When you look at, say, hair removal, and you want to specialise in hair removal, and again, it's the same reverse of that. And if you want to specialise in hair removal, you've got to be able to have some equipment that really does that well.
Yeah.
And, we both in the industry, we know that hair removal for the last few years has been, apart from Botox and fillers, has been the biggest marketplace.
Yeah. And still continues to be. Yeah.
And we know that certainly young people, perhaps my generation, so not so much, but younger people all want to be hair free. So the marketplace is pretty much unlimited. I guess one of the problems in the marketplace is that it's very price sensitive.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you understand that the marketplace is price sensitive, and you want to go into hair removal because it will bring in, we know that it's a profitable business, but what you need to look at is your hourly return. So one of the most important things that people just don't get right is that they assume, well, it doesn't matter if I start and it takes me a long time, eventually my clients will build. But your clients will build quickly if you do the right marketing, Instagram, and you're doing your adverts and you're doing your awareness campaigns. And what will happen is then you'll run out of capacity.
Yes.
So your biggest thing is how much money can you make per hour, and that comes down to the speed of the machine. So if we look at what's important, the speed of the machine is absolutely paramount. Now, we're fortunate as a training company, we get to work with all good equipment. So we are lucky that we have a system with a 25mm spot size, which has got this amazing roll-in technology. So it's almost like artificial intelligence, where if you're treating, say, a leg, rather than being with normal equipment, you have to adjust your movement by the machine. You set it maybe to 2 pulses per second, then you've got to try and move 2 pulses per second.
Yes.
And what I love about the device that we're using is that it's got this rolling technology, so the machine responds to your hand movement. So when you move in it, it'll automatically adjust to your speed. That just makes it easier.
Okay.
And it means that we can do up to, depending on the energy, 4 pulses per second with a 25mm spot size, which means it's extremely quick.
Yes.
You're looking for legs in less than 15 minutes. It's exceptionally fast. So speed is important. You also need to have then the suitable equipment for your clients. So if you're in an area where predominantly your marketplace is darker skin types, you need to make sure you have the equipment that deals with darker skin types.
Okay.
So if I want to treat, say, a coarse hair, no matter what the skin type, my pulse duration needs to be around 30 milliseconds.
Okay.
But I can do that very safely with a neodymium YAG, but with other technology that try to do darker skin types, they can't do that because they burn the client. They need a longer pulse duration to make it safer. So the whole, I think, and I would encourage people to go onto my website. We've got a whole course on that, is what to look for, mini-series. What is your
website? Sorry, just for anyone listening, it's good for them to know.
Okay. It's and we'll pop it up on the screen, but it's www.kwlaserexpert.com. This mini-series will say what to look for when you buy equipment, which is important. So I think the important things are understand your marketplace. Speed is absolutely critical, but you have to get clinical results. And once you can tick all those boxes, then you can look at what else can the equipment do. Okay? And we'll put that on hold and we'll come back to that in a minute. So going back to your question, what do I choose? And it's a question we'll always get asked. Do I choose IPL or do I choose laser? Now you threw another one in there, you said BBL.
Yeah.
I say IPL and laser because I firmly believe that every company has a marketing spin, okay? And everyone does things slightly different, okay? So if we're looking at IPL technology, some people use cut-off filters, some people use notch filters, some people change the shape of the wave to change the output of an IPL.
Okay.
But an IPL is broadband light. So I think what the company behind BBL have done is just coined the phrase BBL, broadband light, to make it sound differently. And they may be doing, they maybe have slightly different take on their filters, but it's broadly the same thing. The IPL and BBL are both intense bus light systems.
Okay.
I think you need to, when you're doing your research, you need to dig in and understand. But I would say if someone wants to understand more, they need to educate themselves, do a complete core of knowledge course first of all, and electricians like to understand that before making that.
And typical with BBL or an IPL device, is it sort of longer treatment, like more treatments? Would you need in a course of like hair removal, for example? Would you say laser will get you to that endpoint quicker?
It depends on the quality of the laser. And funny, we were talking about this yesterday. It depends on the quality of the laser. It depends on the quality of an IPL. If I'm looking at a good IPL from one of the good companies, or BBL, if I'm looking at these type of devices and I'm comparing and I'm looking at trying to do trying to do hair on a lighter skin type, and I'm comparing that to maybe a cheaper diode laser, then for sure I would choose IPL. I think it's so much better. But
if you compare it to say Alexandrite laser,
without question, that if you look at most of the clinical studies and clinical papers would back up the fact that without question the technology of choice for lighter skin types would be an Alexandrite laser. And the technology of choice for darker skin types would be a neodymium YAG laser, but a proper 1064.
Yes.
So I think IPL has its place. People who follow me know that I quite like to do multiple passes with an IPL, and I think an IPL is really good, particularly on fine hair. But there is no question, if I have an array of all equipment and I've got a good quality Alexandrite laser, that would be my choice for hair removal on lighter skin types. And then the neodymium YAG for darker skin types. And then you need to look at the quality of the Alexandrite laser as well. And some of the early Alexandrite systems, you could you could only select, say, a 3 millisecond pulse duration, but some of them, and 3 milliseconds, as we know, is really good for fine hair. But some of the modern ones now, you can change from 3 milliseconds all the way up to 100 milliseconds on both 755 on Alexandrite and both on 1064. And that means if I've got then a lighter skin patient with coarse hair, my choice would be the Alexandrite laser with a 30 millisecond pulse duration. Maybe slightly sometimes longer if I've got a beard area, I'd maybe use 100 milliseconds. But I can then, because pulse duration, and that's a whole topic for another day, pulse duration, people get obsessed by energy, but pulse duration is absolutely critical to get the right pulse duration, get your heating time right. So for me, an Alexandrite would be the choice for that then. So, and one of the cool things about one of the newer ones I'm using, it's the first time I've seen an Alex with really high energy at half a millisecond and 1 millisecond. And what that's really good for, when you get people that have really fine hair, almost blonde,
which a lot of devices can't treat when you get to that stage.
And so when I started using this equipment, I thought, wow, they got a half a millisecond pulse. That makes it much easier for fine hair. So I'd say, Rachel, if your viewers want to, followers want to learn a little bit more, I have got a mini series based on my website, talking about what to look for when you buy a hair removal device.
Perfect. Thank you, Kevin. So what we'll do is we'll put your details up so that if anybody wants to have a look and connect, then they can find out more. But thank you for your time today. Appreciate
Thank you very
it.
much.
Even if